Welcome to the Formula 1 2019 Championship, guys.
I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you
Hey, you're here. I'll catch up with you. Sorry, I'm just on my way out, but your workstation's at the back over there. It should be all set up on the network, but let the guys know if it isn't. From there, you can access all the data you need to help us direct development of the car. Get yourself settled, and then head out to practice when you're ready. I'll catch up with you later, okay?
Welcome to your new team. Toro Rosso are famed for nurturing promising talent and kickstarting the careers of exciting drivers, from Vettel to Sainz to Ricciardo. But they're much more than that. This is a strong team that expects regular points finishes.
What's up, guys? My name is Tomas. Welcome back to another video. And here back on F1 2019 Career Mode Episode 2. And today we're going to start our journey in F1. Last episode we made our journey in Formula 2. If you haven't watched that video, I highly recommend you to go check it out. We made 3 different race scenarios and we met 2 rivals called Devon Butler and Lukas Weber. But today we're going to forget F2 because we're going to start our journey in Formula 1 as Toro Rosso, which shows the Red Bull Junior program. And like I said in the last episode, I want to put Red Bull on top like in the V8 era days in 2013 when the Red Bull was an absolute beast. I really want to bring Red Bull back on top. But first we're going to start in the junior team, that is Toro Rosso, and we're going to make our first race today at the Australian Grand Prix. So smash like and subscribe to the channel if you're new to see more Formula 1 content. It really motivates me to make more. And further ado, let's go down to the track for the first practice session.
Welcome to Melbourne and the inaugural event of the F1 2019 Championship season. The session is starting shortly and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. A feeling that anything can happen this year, and if it does, well, this weekend could be the opening chapter to one of the most exciting F1 seasons ever. Joining me in the commentary box is, of course, Anthony Davidson. And it's great to have you back again. What can you tell us about this year's roster? There are some new faces this year, aren't there?
Absolutely, Crofty. There's been a number of interesting signings over the last few months. Where would you like to start?
Let's talk about Thomas.
Right, well, this is definitely someone to keep an eye on. Well, they've been signed up likely in no small part due to the way they carried themselves in the Formula 2 Championship. They have a great track record of putting the team first. At one of the races, they even gave up their own position when their car had a technical issue, so that their teammate Lukas Weber, who also debuts here today, could get ahead. That kind of team spirit could take them a long way this season.
Those two aren't the only new faces from Formula 2 this season, are they?
No, this season will introduce fans to George Russell and Lando Norris, 2 very promising young British drivers. Plus, we'll meet Alexander Albon from Thailand, and finally, Devon Butler. Now, Devon was a bit of a controversial figure in Formula 2 last year. He racked up a lot of penalties over the course of the season, including one where he collided with his closest rival. It was an arsey clip. Now, certainly after the event, they were nothing but professional in terms of how they spoke about the incident with Devon, but it's hard to imagine them being as polite about it behind closed doors. I think this rival will be one to keep an eye on over the next few races as both drivers take their first steps into the world of Formula 1.
We are already in the practice session. I'm not going to show the practice programs because I think that would be boring for a video. No one does that. I mean, no one shows that on the video, so... And it's very boring, it's not very relevant. Yes, it helps to develop the car, but for a video I think it's not very relevant. So in all episodes I'm going to jump the practice sessions in the videos. I just wanted to show you this introduction of David Croft and Anthony Davison, because you know it's the beginning of the season, it makes sense to show, so I'm not going to show any practice because it is more than safe. So let's jump to qualifying and let's see what we can do.
We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. And as we wait, poised for the start of what will hopefully be a thrilling qualifying, why don't you tell us, Anthony Davidson, about the things you can do to really get the most out of a car in a session like this?
Well, you're largely limited by the Parc Fermé regulations, of course. Back in the old days, pre-2004, you'd work on both a qualifying setup and a race setup over practice, and then swap them over after qualifying. So the race car was quite different at times to the qualifying car. Nowadays, though, you have to find a compromise that works for both. There are a few things that you can still adjust during the session, such as the differential, the brake bias, and the front wing angle, but that's about it. So it's more about optimizing what you do have and adapting your own style to suit the track conditions.
So here we are on qualifying and already doing my first lap. It was a little bit... the first lap is always a banker, so it's not going to be not too much time. We missed the apex of one of the last corners, but in general, in the third sector, I'm very strong this weekend, so we have to take the most of that, open the DRS, and we're going to cross the line. P17, no time set, so yeah, but let's see where we're going to be. It's a 1:26.6, and we are in 6th place. So my second lap, we did, I forgot to say that in this career mode series, the qualifyings are going to be short qualifyings because I don't have much time to record these career mode videos. The race is already 50% and record the replays to show you guys the race of our rivals and of our teammates especially. Take some time, so I hope you guys understand. So it's going to be short qualifying, so we have 3 laps to do. So this was my second lap, and unfortunately was my best one. We couldn't improve on the third one, but I'm going to show you as well to see what happened. But we are 3 tenths up now. We gain a lot of time. There was a lot of time left on the table on the first lap, so as you can see, already gaining 5, almost 6 tenths. We are down into P19. In last place is Robert Kubica. Typical. 6 heads up, and we're going to cross the line, and we're going to set a 1:26 flat, and yeah, P14. And now my third lap, we have Max Verstappen on the Red Bull. Can be our future team, I hope, but let's see if he isn't a roadblock, but he is kinda, because of the dirty air, give us a little bit of tow, but unfortunately we are 3 tenths down, and I don't see anything to improve in this lap because we absolutely nailed the third sector on our second lap, so unfortunately P15 is the best that we could do, but I'm still going to try on the last corner, and we actually gained some time, so it was good. Open the DRS, no ERS deployment as always in these Season 1 cars, and it's still P15. Let Verstappen through, because one day that seat can be ours, and he can be our teammate if we perform well on Toro Rosso, but unfortunately it's just P15. But yeah, it's a Toro Rosso, but unfortunately we've been beaten by our rivals Lucas Weber and Devon Butler. But as a positive, we beat our teammate. I think is the most important, but I wanted to beat at least one of F2 rivals. But we're going to start next to very close to Devon Butler, so let's see if we can do something on lap 1. So yeah, more or less qualifying, I can say. So let's jump into the race and let's see, can we score some points? It's going to be hard, but you know, the strategy can play on our favor. Several number of things can happen in the race, so let's see what we can do. Wish me luck, and let's go.
New drivers, new cars, it's a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that plays host to round 1 of a 21-race championship that takes us from here in Australia across the globe and the eventual season finale at the Yas Island circuit in Abu Dhabi. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. We have plenty of changes to the sport this year with tweaks to the regulations, a fresh-looking spread of tyre compounds, and of course some changes to the roster of car manufacturers. It's goodbye to Sauber and hello once again to the classic name of Alfa Romeo in Formula One. It's also goodbye to Force India. They've been rebranded as Racing Point. Joining me to take you through all the action of the 2019 Formula One season is Anthony Davidson. And it's great to have you with us.
Thanks, Crofty. Always happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to getting underway. Last year was Mercedes' 5th Constructors' title in a row, although for the first half of the season it was absolutely neck and neck with the Ferraris. Hopefully this year we can see the chasing pack take that final step, as I'd love to see a championship contest all the way up to the final race in Abu Dhabi. Another story to keep an eye on is the performance of Red Bull, who have switched to the Honda power unit this year. What that will mean for both their performance and reliability remains to be seen.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Nico Hülkenberg and Ricciardo, Verstappen, Magnussen, Perez and Pierre Gasly. Weber, Norris, Lance Stroll and Butler, Thomas, Raikkonen, George Russell and Roman Grosjean. Albon and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, you've qualified higher than we expected, so let's try to build on this position throughout the race.
Thanks a lot, Jeff, and welcome guys to the Australian Grand Prix, our first Formula 1 race starting in P15, and this schedule, a one-stop, is the only alternative that we have. We start on soft and then we switch to mediums or hards. I'm going to choose the mediums, obviously. I don't want to go in the hardest compound. I always don't like to go in the generally, but let's see what we can do. 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. Devon Butler on our right gets a good start, but our start is not very good. But let's try something on the inside line, but no, we have to stick on the outside line, on the outside of Devon Butler and on Lando Norris. We made contact, and now we made contact with Devon Butler. I think he lost a bit of his front wing, so yeah, me and Devon don't have a good historical, we can say, in Formula 2. I think I don't have to say anything, but we made the move stick, and now we are behind Norris and Lucas Weber side by side with Lance Stroll and made the move stick. So a very good start for our former teammate in Formula 2, but I'm trying to overtake Lando Norris, but you know, it's the first lap. It's a 50% race, so we have to be patient, not be aggressive like in the last two, I don't know, challenges in 25% race. But we're going down off the inside of Lando Norris. That's very, very aggressive. Can we stick with the McLaren a little bit, even more contact, because I was being squeezed a little bit to the wall. We are still there. The Renault engine is a little bit superior to the Honda engine, but Norris has the inside line. Corner is of Norris, and he gets back to P13, sorry, but we are in his slipstream. We're going to try down on the inside. He squeezes a little bit, he locks up, so he makes things a little bit easier for us, but we have tons of understeer. Is the things from this car is that we have you have a lot of understeer, and I'm not 100% with these cars at the moment, so my driving in these first episodes are not going to be the best, but we are being pressurized by Kimi Raikkonen. That seems very strong. That McLaren is very, very McLaren. Jesus, that Alfa Romeo is very, very slippery on the straight line with that Ferrari engine. But for now, we are in P13. But I'm going to be honest with you. P13 is not the position that Toro Rosso at the moment should be, because is the third weakest car. We are, in theory, on the paper, we are stronger than Alfa Romeo, but in these first stages of the race, I'm not. There's no pace. I can tell you that I don't have any pace. Just see the gap between me and Lance Stroll ahead, and there's a kind of a train. But as I say that, Raikkonen trying something on the outside. One thing as well of the Formula 1 cars on the game, it's not just the understeer, it's the braking zones. You can't abuse the brakes this time, so you have to respect the. Okay, Raikkonen is going up of inside. Can he do something? Yes, he can, but we're going to try something, but he has the RS, and now he's going to pull away. Norris, he can on our outside, and can he make the new stick? I don't think so, because we have inside. We made even more contact, so making a lot of contact with the McLarens, but as I was saying, we can't abuse the braking zones, we can't make dive bombs like we did in last year's game, so it's just a question of getting used to the driving style. But as you can see, this is Robert Kubica in last place, and ahead of him is Devon Butler. He's having a nightmare. I think he lost a bit of his front wing, but there's Kubica on the inside. Williams overtaking Devon Butler. How do you feel, Devon? I don't have any pity of you because I don't like you. But there's Kubica on the outside of Devon Butler, but Devon Butler tried to put the elbows out. But now Devon Butler is in last place of this Australian Grand Prix, but he's going half DRS. That Renault engine comparing to the Mercedes of the Williams is not is very weak, but with DRS he helps to mitigate the lack of straight line speed. Kubica locks up and Devon remains in last place, but now he's going to have one more time the DRS. He's going to the outside, Kubica going defensive. That Williams is very bad, but Devon's pace is even worse than me. Yes. And Kubica on the outside, but Devon, I think now Kubica has the inside and he's going to take the position. Maybe Devon is still there, so great driving despite having some front wing damage, and Devon Butler is going to maintain that position. We are watching the race of other people because it's quite interesting. As you can see, the Red Bulls are very down the order, and Verstappen being pressurized by Kevin Magnussen. They are still side by side. And Verstappen is going to try to hold Magnussen on the outside, and he can do so. So I believe that Max Verstappen can have some problems, or the Renault, because there's a huge train here, and making part of this train is Lucas Weber, and I can tell you that he's on the point. So the German is doing a very nice job at the moment, doing a lot better than me and Devon Butler. So, but like I said, this is a huge train, and despite this train, we are not catching him. So just to see a lack of pace on this Grand Prix. Now there's Max Verstappen trying something on Daniel Ricciardo. This is in the next lap, I believe, and Max Verstappen gets the move stick. But now we're going to move to the lead of the race. It's Sebastian Vettel, but Lewis Hamilton is on his tail, very close to his gearbox. DRS open. This is for the lead of the race once again. Hamilton on the outside is going to try to take the lead of this Australian Grand Prix, but Vettel gets his elbows out, squeezes Hamilton to the cup, but Hamilton is still there, so that Mercedes managed to put side by side with Vettel, and Hamilton gets a better exit and takes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. So a beautiful battle between the two championship contenders as Vettel is going to pit. So let's see the strategy for the front runners. I believe they're going to the one stop like me, because I think it's the best option. So there's Vettel coming in, and let's see what tire he's going to put. He's going to put the soft tire, so he's going for the two stop. That's interesting because my team didn't suggest, and Bottas as well. So I think the front runners are going to make the two stop strategy. But my team didn't recommend the two stop strategy. So I don't know if the two stop is the best option, because I'm struggling at the moment with tire wear, and as you can see, Kubica is ahead of Devon Butler. So and their softs of Butler they should be absolutely destroyed at this moment. Hamilton pitting is the same strategy, and Leclerc as well. So yeah, the front runners, and I don't know if the midfield runners are going to be on the soft, but let's see if Sebastian Vettel did the undercut on Lewis Hamilton. So Hamilton leaving the pits, and let's see if the Ferrari takes the lead. And as you can see, Vettel on the background gets a heap amount of time on the Mercedes. So so the undercut is very powerful in this race today. So Vettel takes the lead with a very comfortable advantage in P4, but once the two Force Indies and Lucas Eben make their stops, he's going to be on the lead. But on the outside of Raikkonen, can we make the move stick? Lap 7 still, and we're going to put the wheels a little bit off to the grass. We lose a little bit of backhand, a little bit of contact with Raikkonen, and Norris takes the pieces and takes P14, and we are demoted into our qualifying position in P15. So that's not very good. Try to get a good exit, but I'm getting a lot of understeer. I'm struggling a lot on at the moment. Maybe the tires, I don't have the pace, like I said, in this race. It's being a nightmare. Max Verstappen is out of the session, so he's out of the Grand Prix, and now we are being pressurized by a Williams of George Russell. A Williams, we're going to try to fight back on the inside. A little bit of a corner cut, no warning, but yeah, we ran away with that. But as you can see, we have some front wing damage, and I can tell you so that Jeff didn't tell me anything about the front wing. So maybe should be contact with Raikkonen one lap ago, or contact with Devon Butler on the first lap. So it's very unfortunate. We could be battling for points. I don't think so, but we are losing like 3/10 per lap or something like that. And as I told, Norris managed to pass Kimi Raikkonen. Now George Russell is coming back. This is for P9, but we have to make still stop. Battling a lot with the Williams. That's not the team that I want to battle. I have to impress Red Bull. Remember, I want to be in Red Bull in the next year. But we're going to try to steal to all on the outside. Russell locks up, and we made contact. That was going to be inevitable. Raikkonen and Norris going side by side. And this is going to allow us to catch this Trayman again. And as you can see, our teammate Alex Albon is pitting as well. Robert Kubica or Russell, I'm not entirely sure. And he's putting the soft tires as well. So our teammate going for the 2 stop. So I'm a little bit confused because our team didn't recommend us on the beginning of the race. Sorry, the 2 stop. So I'm a little bit pissed off with my team. So. Because maybe I wanted the 2-stop strategy, but we're going to pit in this lap. We're going to dress a brand new set of medium tires and change the front wing, so we're going to lose a lot of time, unfortunately, but maybe you can gain pace. But as you can see, they didn't change my front wing, and I'm entirely sure that I put change front wing on the MFD, so we're going to make the rest of the race on medium tires with a damaged front wing. That's not very good. That is goodbye 2 points in this race. I already said goodbye on lap 3 or something like that, but what is happening in this race is being an absolute nightmare. And now Albon, this is a lot of time later, lap 17, and Albon catches in his set of soft tires, but remember he's going to pit and probably is going to fit the medium tires, but I didn't put much of a fight because we are out of the points, there's no point, and he's going to pit as you can see on the next lap, so we are going to still be ahead of him. At least I want to be ahead of our teammates, so is the only thing, and maybe I could get a tow or something like that. But as you can see, Daniel Ricciardo very down the order in this Grand Prix, in his home Grand Prix, and yeah, the Adi Badger made the move stick very easy. That Renault has so much pace than the Toro Rosso. Maybe we can reach Renault's level, you know, I don't think so, but yeah, at the moment Renault comparing to Toro Rosso is very, very strong, even in the engine. I don't know why. The engine of the Toro Rosso is very, very weak in this game, so that's very unfortunate. But lap 22, we're trying to catch Raikkonen, you know, to get P13 just for pride, and we are doing so. But it's a situation that our pace is very equal. If we compare my pace to Raikkonen, it's very equal. We gain a 10th or 2, but then he gains a 10th or 2 as well. But in this closing stage, in these final laps, we are catching still with a damaged front wing, so that's very good. DRS open, so we are within 1 second, and we are in this slipstream, and we're going to send one out of the inside. It's a very well late braking, going to run wide, no contact thankfully, and it's a very, very smooth move, a very nice move. As you can see, the replay, slipstream on the inside is the best option. If I was on the outside, he would squeeze me and lose the back end like I did in the previous laps, and that's P13. Raikkonen is going to come back on the outside, but that's not really an overtaking point, and we're going to put our elbows out and keep in P13. So this race is being a nightmare. We ran a little bit wide, and now Raikkonen is going to try something, and yeah, DRS open, Ferrari engine. Like I said, that Alfa Romeo is very slippery on the straight line, and that's move stick, and Lewis Hamilton is out of the race, so we're going to be promoting to P13 after making a good race, after taking the lead for a brief moment. Hamilton is out of the race, unfortunately, so I think Vettel is going to win the Australian Grand Prix without a doubt. And there we go, already in the last lap, and unfortunately we didn't have the pace to catch Raikkonen. It was an absolute nightmare race, like I said, our debut in Formula 1. I hope that in the next round in Bahrain we have a better race, as make a desperate move that wasn't very smart. Friendly, we didn't make contact or take a penalty, but the last corner, it was a nightmare. I don't know why my team didn't show me to stop and change the front wing. What a terrible race.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and there's certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
And unfortunately, that was our race. Only P13. Former teammate in Formula 2, Lukas Weber, in P6. So a very, very good race for the German. And as well for Racing Point in P4 and P5. So a very positive result for the new team. I can say they started in the half season of 2018, but as you can see, the only DNFs, the front runners of Hamilton and Verstappen, and Devon Butler very down the order behind us, but he was absolutely nowhere near our fastest lap. It wasn't very good. It was even slower than Devon, but let's see the championship standings now, and as you can see, it's pretty much the same. You know, it was the first race, so 0 points, unfortunately. Our teammate Lukas Weber in P6. And in the constructors, as you can see, Racing Point in second place, 22 points behind Ferrari, so Ferrari very isolated at the moment, so a very good start for the Maranello team. Toro Rosso in last place behind Williams, so we have a lot of work to do in the next round in Bahrain, and Red Bull very down the order in P5. Verstappen was out of the race, so that helped Romeo to be ahead of Red Bull. So now it's interview time with Claire.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. That was a good race for Lukas. Are you pleased to see him doing well?
Sure that I am. He's a very nice guy, and he was exceptional on track again. P6 is a very good position on the debut, so, and he's working very hard, and it seems that he's paying off on track.
You and Devon weren't far apart by the end of the race. How evenly matched are you?
It's simple. He's a good driver, but I'm better, and I like how things are like this.
You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
That would be telling. It's a secret, so... okay, that would be telling.
It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it?
Yes, I struggled a little bit, but to be honest, I don't have any comments. But yeah, it wasn't the cleanest race.
Appreciate your time.
And that was the race, guys. The first episode of our F1 race. We are winning in the rivalry against our teammates, so that's always very good. Now we have a good amount of points because we received a good allocation because it was our first race. So we're going to spend our first upgrade on the engine. In these first few rounds, I'm going to invest in the engine, so we're going to buy our first upgrade, and it's going to be ready for the Chinese Grand Prix. And we're going to buy as well a durability upgrade because we just have 3 compounds of each part of the car, so surely that we're going to take some grid penalties this season, and I want to mitigate the damage. We can say I want to get some durability upgrades, and we bought factory quality on the engine department because, like I said, we're going to invest a lot on the engine because that on the engine in the game is very weak, and it's not that true. It's not the worst engine. I think it's equal with Breno. But that was the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoy. Subscribe channel new to see more Formula 1 content. Really motivates me to make more. Share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, on Instagram and Twitter. The links are going to be on the description. Unfortunately, this race wasn't very good at all, but let's see if Bahrain can be a lot better. So it's time to say goodbye. My name is Tomasz, and I'll see you guys next time.